cascade. Empire golden, built on trade, could not avert his fate. When three dead assailed his forge, transformed he fell there throughout. Some that thread from nether ears arose to conquer all. Now hope is gone, or so it seems, but game's not over yet. New cards are drawn, new hands are played, newcomers blaze above. Evil wizard, devil gift, the odds are cast anew, and Baldur's fate now turns upon the winds of fortune's view.
Look, Mother, look! It sounds so pretty!
Interference, step aiming. Warning you, it's on the list.
Mistra's likeness. It's been some time since I stood before her in a place like this.
You see an altar dedicated to Selûne. An inscription reads, "Let all who worship the changing tides of life and knowledge feel the blessings of Selûne. Trust in the purity of my light. See the constancy in its inconstancy, and you will be guided aright." Your scholarship of religion tells you no more. You see an altar dedicated to Tyr. Tyr, the blind god, offers justice to all, innocent and malefactor alike. The law dictates what is right, be that reward or retribution. Your knowledge of religion isn't extensive enough. You see an altar dedicated to Helm the Vigilant. Helm the Watcher is a guardian god, dedicated to the preservation of order. Many turn to him in troubled times. Make your donation to him and you'll likely feel more vigilant, more resilient to the unexpected.
Greetings, child of faith. Be welcome to the Stormshore Tabernacle. You have come far, I perceive. How may I serve you this day? I am Vicar Humbletoes, guardian of the Stormshore Tabernacle. I keep the peace in this sacred place and guide those in need. Here, clerics may commune with their gods, and even hear their responses, if they are so favored. I am also granted the power to provide holy resurrection through sales of revivification scrolls. Of course, my child, within limits. Behold my wares.
News of your good deeds has travelled fast. The merchant is all too happy to extend a certain generosity towards you, where the price of goods is concerned.
Divine protectors of Baldur's Gate, hear this humble plea. Shield our people from the depredations of the absolute
This altar isn't dedicated to a single god, but instead acts as a conduit to many. Your god is one of many, and in this place you sense a spark of its mighty divine flame. It reads, "Show your devotion with an offering in your god's name. Blessings may follow." The gods are ready to receive your joyful donation.
What am I to do? Seluna. Had life turned out differently, I might have been kneeling in prayer here.
You feel the chill gaze of the Moon Maiden upon you. Seluna welcomes you. You feel the chill. An inscription reads, "Let all who worship the changing tide trust in the purity of my light." As a moon-bathed cleric, this is your moment to bask in her lunar light and imbue your spirit with her majesty and grace.
Let's get going.
There she stands, just as Elminster promised. Mystra, goddess of the weave, mother of all magic.
The old man wasn't lying. She's opened the summoning channel. Can't you feel it?
Gale's right. The very air around the statue crackles with magic. It sets your teeth on edge.
A stream of pure, undiluted weave. I only have to reach out, and it will carry me to Mystra, wherever she may be.
Do what you must, Gale. Mystra has weighed upon your heart and mind for too long.
Time was, I'd have given my right arm for a chance to speak with Mystra again. The left one, too. Maybe a knee. Am I? You're right. I am a strong, capable wizard. And this is no more than a casual reunion with an ex-lover. My omnipotent, omniscient ex-lover. I always wonder what being nervous would feel like. I hate it. During my time locked away in Waterdeep, I prepared a quite comprehensive speech for her on the subject of our former relationship and the manner in which it ended. Alas, recent events have rendered the majority of it moot, so I'm going to have to improvise. Unless you have any words of wisdom to impart before I go. You'd make a fine three-dragon anti-player, you know? I think it's best I keep a cool head going into this. Approach it like a particularly high-risk round of three-dragon ante. I'll let Mistress show her flight, and then I can see how strong a chance we stand of winning the gambit. I'll only be gone for a matter of moments. The Outer Planes experience time quite differently to our own. Wait for me. Please.
Gale of Waterdeep. You look well.
As do you. But I assume we're not here solely to exchange compliments. So why am I here?
You discovered what lies at the heart of the Absolute, the crown of Karsus. And you disobeyed my instruction. Why?
Because you had no right to ask that of me. You cast me out. Remember?
You were my lover, my chosen. Yet still you know so little of me. The past cannot be undone with self-pity, nor can a future be forged. Only with the truth will you see the way ahead. The fragment of magic you tried to return to me was not of my creation. It was the Karsite Weave. It is a corrupted, half-born magic, wrought in the brief moment Karsus ascended to godhood. It hungers for power, just as he did, and it can never be sated. You unleashed something that would consume all magic in existence, and yet you thought only of preserving yourself.
So that's what you're scared of. With the crown of Karsus reforged, I could take control of the Karsite Weave.
You can no more control the Karsite Weave than a weather vane could control a storm. That it entered your body and consumed no more than your powers was a miracle. But we will not be granted another. The only reason the orb sleeps is because I have allowed it to feed on the true weave. A temporary measure, but one that will not be enough to save us. With each day that passes, the Elder Brain threatens to become a new kind of god. Its worshippers, a scourge of soulless illithids. If you will not use the orb to end this abomination, then you must find a way to separate crown and host. When you've done this, you must surrender the crown of Karsus to me.
A great ask indeed. You've given me much to think on. As you always did.
So be it. Follow the needle of your own wisdom. We shall see how truly it leads you.
The Karsite Weave. I had no idea. Do you realize what this means? The orb is no stray piece of ordinary magic. It is something entirely different. The nascent form of a new, divine power. Of course, I couldn't control it. I was mortal. But once I reforge the crown, the power of a god will be mine to command. The orb will answer to me. Evil is a reductive term, too often used to dismiss choices the observer lacks the imagination to understand. Let me assure you, Karsite Weave has no more inherent evil to it than a child in the womb, or an axe half forged on the blacksmith's anvil. It is a tool, ready to be shaped by its wielder, by me. And you know me to be someone of reasonably sound moral judgment, don't you? Gods, it's refreshing to share the company of someone who sees things the same way I do. All we need to do is stay focused on the task at hand. Defeating that Elder Brain. After that, you can leave the rest to me. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Here it is, humble. Shield our people from the depredations of the absolute heretics. Bless them with the strength to endure and the courage to resist. So may it be.
Let me assure you, it is a tool, ready to be shaped by its wielder. By me. And you gods! It's refreshing to share the company of someone... Let me assure you, Karsai Weave, it is a tool. But they didn't. I always thought it was a miracle that I survived, but I'm starting to wonder if there was more to it. What if it chose me? I don't think you're quite seeing what I'm seeing. Think about it. The crown of Karsus, the Netherstones, the Karsite Weave. No more than a tadpole's breadth from being reunited. This is my chance to get back everything that was taken from me. Everything Mystra denied me. And once I have it, I can forge a better world. Be a better god. I want you to help me. Well then, what more is there to discuss? All we need to do is stay focused on the task at hand.
Can't you feel it?
Feel what exactly? You sure it's not a trapped nerve?
I am.
Probably dead in an alley or drunk in a tavern.
The Society of Brilliance has quite the reputation. Even Waterdavian academics refer to their works from time to time.
You're that heroic type from the latest...
They talk a great deal, but do very little.
Nice reading about something
Maybe for
positive
the
and...
best.
I take it you're not inclined to study the wonders of the Underdark?
Its inhabitants and cultures, maybe. Its fungi and cave slime. No, thank you.
Ah, a surface dweller. You find yourself in the cradle of all knowledge relating to the Underdark. The Society of Brilliance. Tell me, what can the Society do for you? I assure you, we are as well provisioned an institution as any other you'll find in this city. We simply prefer to keep our wealth away from areas of study. One must stay humble in order to achieve true academic rigor. A wonderful research partnership. I'm sure you'll agree. They are upstairs if you wish to share any theories with them. Yes, dear Lady Esther, one of our most reliable contractors. Though unfortunately, this particular request was too much even for her. I don't suppose you've stumbled across any Githyanki eggs during your travels. The Society will compensate you for any we purchase, of course. Study it, of course. The Githyanki have been a source of great debate in the Society's circles in recent months. You are no doubt aware that citizens of the Underdark are held in great suspicion by those who live above ground. Many believe us to be evil. The Githyanki face similar prejudice, but I believe if hatched in a less violent, more intellectually stimulating environment, the child can overcome its evil predispositions. I assume nothing. Innate Githyanki cruelty is an established fact. No doubt you witnessed it yourself in the retrieval of the egg itself. When I have a suitable sample from my study, I will, however, prove that the effects of their biological inclination are reversible. Once out of the shell, I plan to take a twofold approach. The enforced repetition of sound, moral principle from the Paterian Code, alongside a series of psionic pulses administered to the cerebral tissue. Assuming I can accelerate its growth, I should have conclusive findings within a year or two at the most. A series of moral imperatives bestowed by the great dragon deity, Bahamut. In my years of study, they're the closest I've found to moral perfection. Only under such rigorous goodness will the subject stand a chance of being cured. My findings could change the perception of Githyanki and the peoples of the Underdark for generations to come. Rigorous experimental methods demand we do not Once out of the shell, assuming I can accelerate its growth, the pursuit of knowledge is neither evil nor good. Only in the application of such knowledge should one take on any moral imperative. My findings could change the perception of Githyanki and the peoples of the Once out of the shell, assuming I can accelerate its... I won't bother to argue with you. An arboreal shaman can't be expected to understand the rigorous protocols of theoretical research. My findings could change the perception of Githyanki and the peoples of the Underdark for generations to come. Rigorous experimental methods demand we do not indulge our emotional responses in the application of discomfort to our subjects. Only by the full, uninhibited application of psionic stimuli will we have the true measure of whether the child's innate evil has been cured. Now, I'm eager to get started. So will you sell me the egg? Then I will source another subject, and the experiment will be completed without your involvement. Progress may be delayed, but I assure you, it can never be stopped. Changed your mind, have you?
I'm compiling a translation dictionary so warring species of the Underdark can understand each other. It's an essential step forward. Next, I just need to interview somebody who speaks classical Melock.
Fine, Prince.
Well met. I am the Society's leading expert on myconid spore telepathy. But I've had to delay my experiments. Run out of spores, you see. Oh, I miss them, those myconid spores. Don't feel quite right without them. Probably shouldn't have inhaled them all so quickly. Oh, I miss my spores. I tried eating some toadstools I got from bone cloaks, but no good. Just made me constipated.
It's not just theory, but fact.
Why can't a man be passionate about mineral ores? So much Underdark strife comes from vying for scarce minerals. I seek to invent new, easier ways to find such ores. From plenty comes peace. Must get back to my plans and diagrams. I'm so close to a solution.
Once I publish my paper proving that it's just hyena mite infections that make gnolls so angry, I'll be famous. Oh, I should get to work on my acceptance speech for the Society Research Prize.
My surface-dwelling friend, how long has it been? I am glad to see you well. I see your tadpole remains in its state of suspension. Your case has set us on quite the detour from our planned expedition work. We've thought about very little else. You have? I would love to hear your conclusions, but it would not feel right to do so without my research partner. After observing the nature of your tadpole's stasis, we felt it wise to report back to the Society. Omeloum went out into the city to seek out further undeveloped infections like yours. But I have heard nothing since. I admit, I'm somewhat concerned. We are usually sticklers for updating one another on our progress. A fair assumption. Omeloum is not given to strong emotion, but I know it regrets the damage caused by others of its kind. I am doing my best to conduct my own research in its absence. Unfortunately, my second-hand knowledge does not compare to the innate understanding Omeluum brings to such study. Omeluum believed the answer to this riddle lay within the city walls, and held some connection to the cult of the Absolute. I had the distinct impression it was intentionally keeping its hypothesis from me, as though even the theory would be enough to put me in danger. Why that would be, I can only theorize myself. It is rather outside my area of expertise. Omeluum is most likely safe and well, and simply absorbed in its work. However, it would put my mind at rest to confirm it if you happened across its path. Naturally, the Underdark provided us with some most unusual salvage. Plenty to keep an inquiring mind busy. Research on the surface stops. I still can't get used to that.
Must remember, it's
Talk straight. Are you really just looking for a bride? Comes in many forms.
It's not a lie. If you would just listen, I could explain.
You have done quite enough explaining, Volothamp Gadam. You have poisoned the very hearts and minds of these good, kind, gentle citizens with your lies, your delusions, your conspiracies. Though you hide behind a mask of stories, we have seen beyond the veil. We see what you really are. Fearmonger. Hear, hear! Attention seeker. Hear, hear! Agent of chaos.
Your parasite stirs in recognition. This man is infected.
Ragnahells follow! Today, citizens, we rid ourselves of this cankerous sore. Today, we burn away all falsehoods. Today, we will be divided no longer, for today, we rise in truth.
Psst. Don't just stand there. Help me, goddammit! Help me!
I suppose we should aid him, though I'd hate to miss the show.
What's this? Another heretic in our midst? Another mind clouded by the disruptor's lies? Another soul to cleanse? Well, we are nothing if not gracious. Let us see if we cannot lift the veil from their eyes too.
None shall withstand me.
What's the plan? Got to move.
Still breathing, despite everything. Need to find a way forward. Go from here. Death won't take me yet.
Don't get too close.
Let's go.
Yes!
Can't give up.
I shall see to it.
What should I do?
No choice but to keep going. You've made a grave mistake.
Gods! I really thought I was done for. I suppose thanks are in order. Again, what's an heroic story without a little risking of one's neck, eh? And you know what they say, the bigger the story, the more people want to kill you for it. You of all people will, know what I mean. I'll, tell you what I know, but not here. Too many eyes, ears, weapons about. Meet me at your camp, hmm?
I've fished these waters my whole life.
My faith will guide me.
All right, what now?
We only have enough for 3.
I hate sending Lee packing the girls off without me. But if that smuggler can get them to Waterdeep and away from the Absolute... I hate sending...
I hate this! That lousy smuggler won't take all of us because we can't afford 4 berths. Greedy bastard!
Mama says Waterdeep will be safe, but Papa will still be here. If you look out for Papa, he'll be safe, won't he?
Blockade is risky business. Everybody, hey.
You look nice and strong. Will you take care of my Papa when he stays behind?
Doing this for charity, Wandle. This is life and death for me too, mate. You only get as many berths on my sloop as you can pay for. If I allow any freeloaders, my own crew will scrag me. I'll do it. Suppose I can find some way to make it good with the crew.
My good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. My research turned up a rather... It's not too... You only have a matter of...
It is splendid to see you again, my friend. If you hadn't saved me from that mob, I'd be penning a guide to the afterlife based on first-hand experience. Perhaps you would hazard a guess as to why the mob turned on me? Nonsense! It is my dedication to truth that endangers my well-being, and I have uncovered the most startling truth imaginable. The Lord of Murder has returned. As he did 100 years ago, Baal has set his accursed sights on Baldur's Gate. And his temple runs red with the blood of the innocent. And just as then, he has more than one chosen to manifest his gruesome plot. He has Orin, and he has you. I see that. You have at least a measure of self-control. But Baal's inheritance is not shrugged off so easily. The heart of a Baal spawn is a flipped coin that lands on its edge. Yours is a family set on self-slaughter. When there are two or more, they will destroy one another until a single heir to the throne of blood remains. In times gone by, there was an errant-hearted Baal spawn who stood against his foul father and brother, Saravok. Optimist that I am, I hope you are of similar heroic vintage. I believe you will be. And I'd like to help, the only way I know how, with a guidebook. This one did not flow from my quill, but from that of the wizard Irenicus. It is a study of the Slayer, and may give you a much-needed edge when you face Baal's chosen. A genius. Exiled from his home in the elven paradise of Soldanessala, when he attempted to seize the power of life itself, he instead turned his magnificent mind to murder on a grand scale. That is how he came to crave the power of the Baal spawn. He saw them not as living things, but as tools for his own machinations. In the end, though Irenicus took the form of the Slayer for himself, it was a Baal spawn who thwarted him, the same that saved Baldur's Gate. The Dream Eater. It is said the children of Baal are claimed throughout their sleep, ever disturbed by visions of a life of bloodshed and terror. Once they have seen too much, once these dreams drive their minds to break, they are beset by the Slayer. It is a beast of unspeakable violence that consumes all in its path, including the soul of the one who is host to it. I am a living witness to Baal's defeat those 100 years ago. So I know your battle against him is not futile. He can be stopped, but not all of those who stood against him survived. And those who did were never the same again. I wish you luck, my friend. And I hope that when I see you again, you'll be in one piece. 2 or 3 at most. Whatever happens next, be sure that I will document it all as accurately as possible.
Quite the cozy set.
If perhaps you would hazard a guess. Nonsense! The law, as he did, and just... And he... You triumphed over Baal's chosen? Marvelous! Slain by the Lord of Murder, and risen again to save Baldur's Gate. This is stupendous! You and I shall pen the book of your experiences together. My quill is trembling in anticipation. Tell me everything. The battle in the temple itself. It seems you followed in the bloody footsteps of the gate's old Baal-spawn hero. All the coast shall read my writings of your triumph! Ha! Baal's seed has been wasted, spilled on the ground once again. Whatever happens next, be sure...
to arrest
Let's rehearse this one more time.
They throw us in jail.
Pretend I'm a fist and tell me what you were doing in the house.
Oh dear. It won't happen.
This is the armory. Not a bloody open house. Fists only. Now clear off. Trade? Do I look like a shopkeeper? This equipment isn't for sale. It belongs to the Flaming Fist. Can't believe they put that mindless metal Ragresham in my armory. Steel watchers. Stupid thing'll probably decapitate me for cleaning the bloody mace rack. Finally, someone who sees sense. Strong folk wielding strong blades. That's what keeps folk safe. Not those glorified golems. I don't have anything fancy, but you're welcome to take a look. Stay sharp, stranger. In these times, all we can trust are the blades in our hands.
Brickwork and stonework.
Let's rehearse this one.
This place is far out of balance with nature. But the Oak Father will reclaim this all eventually.
Are the gods truly this petty?
Can't do the clears that beats the arse. He won't even hurt.
That's why nothing's gonna happen to us. We'll tell them what happened, and we'll be home in no time.
If I were you, I'd focus on my own
You've
job.
been saying that for ages, and we're still here. What are they waiting for?
I don't know, dear. I don't know. All we can do is be patient.
Are they going to arrest her?
So that was Mistra. Pretty spectacular stuff. But I think Gale was right not to agree to do her bidding, no questions asked. I respect the gods, but they don't always understand what they're asking of us. Maybe immortality makes it hard to know what it's like to be one of us piggies. Proud of Gale, though. It takes some man to hold his own in front of the divine. You know I'm up for it, but your party's a little full. Excellent. Let's go.
Wretched thing. Pull yourself together.
So, Gale's hedging his bets with Mistra? I can't say I blame him. Who'd want to hold a power like the crown of Carsus in their hands just to hand it to someone else? I know what my decision would be, but we're all different, of course.
Soldier?
What's on your mind?
I do not trust Mistra to do right with the crown, but I think I trust Gale even less. He must give it to her when the time comes, or his lust for power might well consume him.
Mistra has forsaken Gale entirely. A crushing blow. But he is strong enough to persevere, I think.
You will grow to like Jahira's insight.
Far from me to judge Gale for playing coy with Mistra, but I will not be cleaning up whatever mess she makes of him for it. Ask it. Oh dear. Should I brace myself for some fashion advice? But I suppose you have earned better than glibness from me. It was a gift from my husband Khalid. He was a harper. A better one than me, truth be told. Any idiot can swing a sword, but to believe in the cause with the whole of your heart, a much trickier thing. He died. Alone, in pain, and far too young. Murdered by a mage who craved immortality. I'll not grant it by naming him in the same breath as my husband. Oh dear. He died. Alone. In pain. And far too young.
The quiet, unassuming shadow to Jaheira's strength, Khalid was another warrior who helped end the Balspawn crisis. Shortly after, he was murdered by the mad mage John Irenicus.
I've never known a warrior to go so far out of his way to avoid a fight, which meant the few he chose, most harpers swagger and flash their feathers to catch your attention. Khalid was quiet to a fault. And when we were married, on an upturned cart in the rainy Dalelands, he stammered so much. I've never been sure if our vows actually counted. Oh, I'm sure time and an aging mind has smoothed out a few of his flaws. But he was a good man. The songs make much of Khalid's meekness. The quiet little harper who had to keep a tight hold on his courage, but he had it when it counted. And more than that, he had compassion. When you live a harper's life, see all that a harper sees, that is by far the harder thing to hold on to. But a bard can tell you all the rest. As for all the things they cannot, well, I shall just have to keep those for myself.
This crown seems too powerful and dangerous an object for mere mortals to possess. Too dangerous even for Mystra. But I would sooner trust it with a god than with Gale.
You wish to consult me?
Mystra has forsaken Gale entirely. A crushing blow. But he is strong enough to persevere, I think.
The penitent looks at you silently, expectantly.
How many die today? How many die tomorrow?
remind them that this is our city.
Bits and bobs from Danthalon's dancing axe.
I have secured the most excellent firearm you're going to bring. That's the last thing you haven't but survived
Gildra, how can I help you?
Soldier. Eye color, hairstyle, accent, anything.
They were big, and they were angry.
I don't care how big they were. I'll give them a piece of mind.
Gildra, how can I help you?
They take your gold, but they leave your ribs intact.
Yeah, well, this time they weren't feeling polite. They really put the boot.
As anything recently. Nothing catching a tender.
500 gold. At least
You'll have to wash them all. Marrington never lets us out like that.
We both know you sell it for twice that to the armory once the city's under siege. I'll go.
Oh, Wave Mother, Queen of the Depths, hear me. Please carry Holly to her final rest in the deep wilds. Please. Sorry, are you here for Wave Servant Holly's funeral? Oh, it's already started. They're just inside. No. All are welcome to come and celebrate the life of the fallen wave servant. May the wave mother smile on you as she did Holly.
Or if you give her something precious of yours.
Just make sure it's sweet enough, dear.
I was just about to do Sam's. Wave Mother's breath was so...
For this most holy death. Rejoice, sisters, for Umberly has blessed her humble daughter with a pure death. Her lips blue with her kiss, her lungs full of her quenching word. Umberly's mercy saved her from a slow, sinking death in the beast's shadow. How dare this beast sully the safety of Grey Harbor? We will find its master and send him struggling into the bitch queen's embrace. Not a sweet sleep like Holly's, but a suffocating flood of fruitless garths and bursting flesh. You, supplicant, what tribute do you bring to honor the Wave Mother's fallen daughter? Yes. Then you know as well as Umberly that blood must soon be shed. Your tribute is well received. Breathe deep as she permits. Holly, one of Umberly's beloved wave servants. Blessed Umberly saw fit to spare her an ignoble death. But her passing was not as the Wave Mother intended. It was a beast who took her life, an unnatural one whose very existence is an affront to Umberly. A wretched metal monstrosity hewn by hubris. A rusting pollutant that bleeds black blood into Umberly's pristine waters. The beast struck Holly while she was swimming in Grey Harbor. She was found by some fishermen. She would have suffered a terrible, agonizing death had Umberly not bestowed upon her the mercy of drowning. The Queen of the Depths is generous to those who serve her, and her favor is far less deadly than her wrath. Find the master of this poisonous beast and slay him. Then one of her most precious gifts shall be yours. That privilege is not yours to earn. We haven't found its lair as yet. Perhaps you can find where the beast takes its slumber and skewer it before it wakes. Salt kiss your brow. We await your return and the Beastmaster's demise. Glorious Wave Mother, pour fury upon the beast responsible for this injustice. Leave its master, a bloated carcass in the spume.
Of course they do. They're fish. Hells, it's everywhere still. I don't suppose you've got any experience getting oil out of sealed wood. Me and Flea here were out on the water casting our nets, expecting to find the usual crop of halibut. Then, all of a sudden, my net starts dragging, and there's a bloody wave servant all twisted up in it. We took her back to the docks to try and help her, but she was already dead. The other wave servants came to get it. Her. Sorry. They took her back to the temple. You can hear the bloody caterwauling from here. We both saw some sort of wake moving towards the docks when we picked her up. But there weren't any other boats around. Maybe it was something big moving underwater. I don't know. It was weird, whatever it was. Kinda looked like it might have been heading towards that building across the channel, actually. Buggered if I know. Might be something to do with all that oil in the water. It's too bad we can't sell him. Bloody waste, if you ask me. The boat's fine, but the nets are in tatters. Need to deal with all this oil before we can fix them, though.
Steel Watch Foundry. Entry prohibited by order of Lord Gortash.
How can I help? I'd be delighted. Though, someone else will need to watch the cook pot, of course. Magical. Seek and you shall find me. Descend.
Ash and meat.
How can I help?
What's on your mind? No room in your party. What should I do? Excellent. Let's go.
The birthing ground of those steel monstrosities. I would feel little sorrow if this place should close forever.
Oh, come on. You have to be at least a little impressed by the craftsmanship. There's only so much you can do with wood.
Not so in my experience. There is little I cannot whittle.
Oh. Did you do that on purpose?
You've set foot in a restricted area.
Sylvanas, guide my blows. I see, at once.
Ready for another round?
I'm ready. On the move.
Forever, pal. Time to push my luck again. Light on my feet. Take Cura. All right, Karlak. It's go time. Handy.
Shall prevail.
Need to stay focused. I go.
Well, so much for peace.
Afoot.
Need to act fast.
What now?
Truly this petty.
no time to dally. Let's pop you open, shall we?
Nothing hurts anymore.
I heard you were disciplined by Overseer Holtz, Dread Brother.
When instructing a Gondian, my enthusiasm overtook me. I cut off her hand.
Clumsy. What good are they without their limbs?
Indeed. I had to dispose of her.
Close ranks. This'll help.
Nature's fury shall not be checked. I must reach there.
Faith will protect me. On my way.
Breath. Another step forward. That might be worth a look.
Not a chance I'll fit in there.
You are asking the impossible. Gyrometics require a steady hand and a sharp gaze. I can barely keep my eyes open. I need to rest.
You have a son, do you not? Is he as lazy and pathetic as his spineless mother?
Wait! Stay your hand, I beg you.
Prinsky's motivation sequence activated.
Tell me, Gondian. Tell me about your son.
He's not... Yes, Overseer Holt. He's frail in body and mind like me, like all of us. Yet by your grace, he lives.
And your wife?
She is... was... useless. And interfered with production quotas. You were wise to remove her from this world. Forgive my outburst. I will work through the night. This Watcher will be operational by dawn.
I will allow it. But if your work is anything short of impeccable, your son will die screaming. Is that clear?
Yes. Overseer Holtz.
Isn't it working?
Stay awake.
Dread brother, stand ready. Gondians, so much as twitch, and I'll rip your tongues out myself.
You recognize the Overseer's uniform. She's a follower of Bane, the god of tyranny.
An interloper? You shouldn't be here. Heads will roll for allowing you to pass. Gondians, cut out the interloper's eyes.
Overseer, please. We're engineers, not killers.
What happens to the disobedient, slave?
I will do it, Overseer. Forgive me.
Stay awake. Just stay awake.
Let's finish this. Let's do this.
Fuck yes.
Ooh, fun.
Prinsky's motivation sequence activated.
No! The motivator! Deactivate it! Hurry!
I'll give it a shot.
Kitius! There shall be no mercy.
To concentrate.
My turn.
There! Every enemy of nature must fall!
Ready.
Smell blood.
Blood. So much smell. I need to get rid of these bodies. Right now.
One problem at a time. Deal with the bodies.
Bastards deserved it.
If I hide the corpses, the smell will attract someone.
The overseers are gonna burn us alive for all this. Our families. Everyone. You want to help? Then get the hells out of here before you make everything worse.
What if I get caught?
So much blood.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to attack you. None of us did. But this is a disaster. They're dead. They're all dead. No. You don't understand. The Overseers hold more than our lives hostage. They have our families. And if they see what we've done, killing me will only be the beginning. God help us.
Breathe.
I have to clean up the bodies. I have to hide the...
You have. You need to get rid of these bodies. Right now.
One problem at a time.
So much
Deal with the
blood.
bodies.
Bastards deserved it. What have I done? They'll kill my wife because of this. You made me do this.
Cut them up.
I'm sorry. I'm a good Gondian. I'm sorry.
You're gonna be sick!
One problem at a time. Deal with the bodies.
Bastards deserved it. Overseer.
If I hide the corpses, the smell will attract someone.
Gufgrish of the lore. Your nervous gait betrays your presence, stranger. You don't belong here. Who are you? What? Go away! Your presence imperils us all. If any of us attempts to escape, our kin will die. The Overseers, they have a contraption. When triggered, it will kill everyone who wears a collar. You underestimate the enemy. The Overseers, they are Glixbran Rakthar. The collars are not only equipped with explosives, there is also a mechanism that alerts the Overseers if they're removed. One of us may be able to save themselves, but it would be at the expense of everyone else. We can't risk it. Even if we did somehow unshackle our collars simultaneously and overthrow our oppressors, there would be consequences. Our families are held elsewhere. The Overseers need only activate those contraptions they hold, and they suffer the consequences of our actions too. We cannot win. We must aid in building these Vakron. Gunkal. Aye. Even more, I'd help you destroy this place. I don't know where they are, but some of the Overseers must. You'll have to infiltrate deeper into the foundry. Just make sure you don't get caught. If they raise the alarm, they'll trigger the collars. I will pray for you. My daughter. Her name is Obelia. Gondral Frakas Hulnesh. May Gond be with you. Patience. It hasn't been long.
It's time. Deal with the bodies.
We're gonna be sick!
If I hide the corpses, I need to dispose of them.
Whoa, whoa, mate. This is the last place you need. 2 words. Guild business. Only an idiot gets between them and their shipments. Why didn't you lead with that? I trust you're gonna balance the books too, yeah? 2 words. Guild business. Only an idiot gets between them.
Easy, mate. We're humble smugglers, all right? So just take whatever you want. Not enough to rob me.